I learned 2 different versions of bullshit. This is the literal version. Like a bullshitting.
Yeah, okay. Hi guys, I'm Amber Doig-Thorne, and today I'm here with Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, star and director of the gripping new thriller A Quiet Place. If you could give me your favourite activity which you think would be most difficult to do without making a sound.
Frying eggs.
Oh, that's a good
Fried
one.
eggs, because you have to crack the egg.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
And then they do sizzle.
That's true.
And then you have to flip them, then you break them, and you're usually screaming with rage. I pretty much have fried eggs on toast every morning, so I would miss that. And the toaster.
Oh, I feel like there's just so many foods that you couldn't have. See, for
So
me,
many foods.
I thought, oh, it's just physical activity, but it's not. There's food as well.
Oh, everything.
You couldn't really have a chocolate bar. You couldn't open it with all that
No,
rustling, could
no
you?
wrappers.
Oh dear, a life without chocolate.
I know,
Couldn't imagine.
never.
Any sort of physical activity, any kind, that's the thing you realize is that you couldn't play any sport or...
Couldn't play tennis without making a sound.
Or you couldn't even go on a run without making a sound. It's not a big workout world, this world.
Could you teach me some useful or funny sign language that you learned whilst filming A Quiet Place?
It's very rude.
That's fine with me.
I learned 2 different versions of bullshit. This is the literal version. Like a bullshitting.
Yeah, okay.
I did hear that that is that's more of what bullshit is.
Isn't this like a rock symbol though? So the people
But
at
it's also
rock
a bull.
concerts going, bullshit.
But I also like this one. Millie taught me this one. Cool. Yeah, she would say things like, we'd be like, what do you think of this, Millie? She was like,
Cool.
Oh wow, I learned sign language for the scenes. I was very jealous of Noah because Noah got to learn a lot of swear words in sign and I never learned any.
Well, you need to get him to teach
I
you.
know, he's
Maybe
gotta
have a
teach me.
sequel and he could have some of that going
Done,
on.
I like it.
What is it that attracted you to play the role of Evelyn?
I mean, I just felt she was so fierce and warm and nurturing and loving and all of those wonderful maternal qualities that she had, but yet she is kind of fierce, you know, there's slight defiance to still live and thrive despite the brutal environment.
She's definitely badass.
She's pretty cool.
Being an actor and a director is quite a lot of work for a project. What is it that made you want to get so involved with this film?
I don't think my name is the one that you see and you say, I can't wait to see a horror movie from that guy. Everything I try to do is coming from a place of I have to do it because I'm emotionally connected to it. And you wouldn't think that this would be something you emotionally connect to if you look at it as a scary movie, but the truth is, at the core of this movie, it's about family, and it's about what would you really do to protect your kids. On paper, it looks overwhelming, but when you do a project that you really care about, it actually ends up being the biggest gift you can get because you're actually protecting the movie on all sides. I know it looks ridiculous looking at this poster, but this is a love letter to my kids.
So what I loved about A Quiet Place is that it's such a unique concept for a film. How did you go about preparing for a relatively silent role both on set and beforehand?
Well, you know, we talked about it so much. I mean, John and I especially, because, you know, it sort of became a family member of ours for a while. So I think that we had really sweat the small stuff by the time we got on set. We understood these people inside and out. We had the kids over as much as possible and socialized with them as much as possible, so we felt like a unit. And we discussed all of the tensions between the characters. Not only have you got the panic of, you know, not making any noise being infused into every scene, but also there's so many tensions between these characters, so many dynamics that are unspoken.
I think that for all of us, you know, the preparation work happened before getting on set. Usually there's a lot of dialogue that you have to learn and sort of find your way into the character using the words. So when you don't have the words, leave it to a 13-year-old Noah who plays my son in the movie. He said, you know, without dialogue, there's nothing to hide behind. And I said, what does that mean? He said, well, you know, when I learn my lines, I know how to say it, the rhythm that I'm gonna say it, how I look when I say it. But when there's no dialogue, you just have to be it. You just have to be mad, be sad, be happy. And I thought, that's some pretty heady stuff. You should teach an acting class.
For such a young boy. It can't have been the first time that people had asked you to work together. So what was it that convinced you?
We talked about it for a long time. We've always wanted to work together, but at the same time, we didn't want the story of our being married to be bigger than the story of the movie. And this one's, the story's pretty out there, so we were safe. I've never actually seen her work because she's always on a different set with a different cast and a different director. So to be in the room when she does what she does was completely overwhelming. I mean, this scene that's on the poster was one of the first things we shot. It was one of the most intense scenes in the movie, and she did it in one take. It was just absolutely brilliant.
Just one take?
That one take.
I would have imagined it'd take hours.
Exactly,
She nailed it.
She nailed it. Nailed it.